Hello and welcome to That's a Wrap. My name is Anthony Gentry, and joining me today...
Austin Jameson, hello.
Hello. We got a little rainy afternoon today.
Yes,
It's
very
kinda
solemn.
nice. Today, we are going to talk about Lego Star Wars The Skywalker
Absolutely.
Saga. This game is
yeah,
amazing.
we are a gaming podcast now,
Yes.
just for the uninitiated.
We had another topic, but, we don't want to talk about it.
It's not really, so it's a movie that came out recently, as you may know, by the title of the episode. Had Jared Leto, everybody loves
Tyrese
him.
Gibson.
The guy from Doctor Who and Last Night in Soho.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Matt Smith.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
I was thinking Matt Reeves, and I was like, no, that's a better movie.
No,
I
that's
mean,
Batman.
director. Yeah. So our main topic today is
Morbius.
Unfortunately,
Yes.
what do you mean? I'm not going to give away my impression this early.
Fortunately, Morbius, because then after this, we never have to talk about it again.
That's a really good way of looking at it. We have a couple trailers to talk about.
We do, yeah. Yeah, before we get into that, we have 3 trailers.
Yes, a Lego Skywalker Saga.
Yes. Do you want to talk about that? It's a good game. I like it.
I mean, we can, I
Yeah.
guess, but
I don't want to talk about Morbius.
we probably shouldn't.
We can talk about that after.
Okay, it's bonus features.
Yeah.
It's our spin-off. It's
the Lego Star Wars show.
Just Lego Star Wars?
Just Lego
Okay,
Star Wars.
Sure.
So the first trailer is going to be Bob's Burgers movie.
Yeah.
This comes out, I think, Memorial Day weekend.
That looked like
in May.
I think so.
What did you think of this trailer?
Quirky. I'm not familiar with Bob's Burgers.
Yeah.
I tried to watch it a little bit, but I'm just lazy, and there's so much of it that it's like whenever you try and undertake a new show. And also at the point that I tried to watch it, I was kind of like overstimulated with adult animated comedy.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm sure it's good, and I'm sure it like of the adult comedy, like animated comedy genre, I'm sure it's pretty high up there
for a lot of people. Yeah, I've seen a few episodes here and there.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a fine trailer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it wasn't great, but it wasn't horrible.
Yeah.
I think it was better than the last one.
Mm-hmm.
Did we talk about the last one on here?
I don't think so. I remember seeing it in theaters though.
Yeah. It seems interesting. Like there's a sinkhole, which is kind of like the Simpsons movie.
Right.
Seems like a lot of wacky stuff going on, like with the kids.
Right.
Too.
It seems from a non-Bob's Burgers watcher, it seems like a Bob's Burgers movie.
It does.
That's
it really
for
does.
sure.
Seems like just a feature-length episode, which is kind of what you
with
want
better
with these kinds of
animation as
things.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it comes out May 27th.
Cool.
Yeah. On Google, it says it's a comedy/musical. So that'll be interesting.
That will be interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, just nothing much, but Bob's Burgers. The next trailer is going to be a trailer that we missed last week.
Oh,
Minions 2: The Rise of Gru.
Is it Minions 2 or is it just Minions: The Rise of Gru?
It's Minions: The Rise of Gru.
Yes,
but it's the second.
Get
Minions.
it right, Anthony.
I'm so sorry.
How dare you disrespect
course,
our Illumination overlords?
Of course, in this trailer, we get a minion butt.
Yes,
because you always need to see the minions nude in all of these movies for some reason.
Yeah, because that's funny. That's genuinely hilarious, Anthony. What are you actually talking about?
This movie, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not looking forward to it.
What? How?
I like the Despicable Me movies. I don't like Minions.
Have you not enjoyed? I don't even know where I'm going. I agree. It's it's not something I'm looking forward to. I think, speaking of overstimulation, is the cursed little minions.
Yeah.
I actually, this movie was supposed to come out like
2 years ago.
Bajillion years ago. I have a poster for it.
They kept delaying it by a year.
Right. And so now we're finally getting. Is this the first trailer for it that we've seen?
This is the second, I think, maybe third.
Gotcha. Yeah, you got a little Gru. You got little minions.
That's about it. Like they're just trying to be evil.
Through the trailer, I was like, I forgot that it was a Minions movie, and the Minions kept showing up instead of Gru, and I'm like, did they miss the point? But like,
at some point in the movie or in the trailer, it just became Gru. So just call it Despicable Me 4.
Yeah,
call it a day. And it's like, we already saw in the first Despicable Me, he was evil and then he turned good. So seeing him as an evil little kid, it's like it feels like it doesn't even matter,
Right.
because we already know what he was.
Boy. There we go.
Like,
yeah, I don't know. It's a money farm. It's a money printer, and it's going to work.
do you think this one will make money since it's been so long since the last one?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I'd say it's not going to make as much as probably the first Minions, or easily as much as any Despicable Me.
Well, the Minions, I think, is the highest grossing out of any of the... Yeah, it made over $1 billion.
That's promising.
Yep.
Well, maybe it will do just super duper good then. Who knows? Certainly not me.
Anyway, that comes out July 1st.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think it's safe to assume we will not be doing a summer episode for the second Minions movie, but
sadly not.
Yeah, if we get enough of our heartfelt fans yelling, absolutely berating us for not doing it, then maybe
we'll think about it.
Well, we'll put it in our large suggestions box. We have a lot of fan mail to sort through.
A lot of suggestions for the Cat in the Hat.
That is, yeah. Maybe we should look into that eventually.
Maybe. I don't know. It seems like it's come from one person. I don't know.
That we might have to look into that. Reach out to that. Maybe have a guest on one of our. That'd be crazy.
That would be crazy.
We got one more trailer.
Yes, and this is the most unique.
Yeah, by far the weirdest trailer we've probably ever done.
It's another family trailer.
Maybe
it's A24, which you put A24 and family, and those never go together.
No, they do not.
And if they do, it's horrifying.
Yes.
This is Marcel, the shell with shoes on.
Yes. Extremely weird.
Yeah.
And it looks, the trailer, there was nothing particularly scary. There's nothing particularly disturbing.
Yeah, and it's rated PG.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm still gonna be on my toes when watching it. It's A24.
Right.
So there has to be something.
Well, they can't sit there and traumatize kids. They're not allowed to do that with PG. Unless they are, then that'd be kind of funny.
There's been so many PG movies that traumatize kids.
I guess so. That's interesting though, because well, it's a little shell in the real world with shoes on.
Yeah, it's very meta. It's like a mockumentary kind of.
Right, and the trailer it looks like a decently cute movie, but the trailer makes it feel like it's doing that sarcastically. As to or not sarcastically, but it feels like it's supposed to be at the end of the trailer something happens, and you cut to the disturbing stuff. I mean, that doesn't happen though.
I don't think I felt that during it.
Well, that's just my expectations with A24 was to have this
with A24
super little happy shell. Look how cute it is. He's trying to find his family. That's adorable. And then the mockumentary stuff cuts and stops, and then you have this completely different vibe. That didn't happen, and that's just A24 and their name being associated with it for me.
Yes, I'm going through A24's website, and I am not finding a single children's film. I thought this trailer was really charming.
Yeah.
And kind of heartwarming, honestly. It was really just cute to see this little shell walk around and become this phenomenon.
Yeah. It's honestly, that opens a really interesting conversation on how even companies can get typecasted, where it's you don't expect. It's like if Pixar put out a genuinely horror film. Yeah. It just wouldn't feel right, and you wouldn't expect that from them. And I don't think A24 has, well, I don't. According to unless you found anything yet, they've just.
I am going through again, and
so this is it's weird. I welcome it. I think the movie will be received based on their history of making films, though, and producing them. Yeah. So I think that'll be a really interesting dynamic. That is not created on purpose, because this looks like a Pixar short.
It does. Yeah.
It looks
apparently
like you'd see
it was
it before
a short film too.
Right.
That I think 2011. It got 11 million views on YouTube.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, it's odd because I could see A24 taking a viral video from so long ago and then
making
morphing
a horror film.
it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look like they're doing that. And if they are, then they're. I hope that that like they do this all the way up until release, and you watch it, and it's nothing like that. That's what I would expect.
Yeah.
However, that's going to ruin the movie for me if I get that far, and it is just like a PG happy little family film.
Like A24 has made comedies, dramas, like even romance movies. They have a movie coming out this weekend that looks crazy, Everything Everywhere All at Once, that I'm excited to see. They've never made a family movie, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. And it's weird saying that with a studio.
Right, I agree.
But
well, that's kind of like where you get.
That's kind of the. Sorry, you can go.
Yeah, you start to like associate studios with a lot of things, like Blumhouse and all of they're also kind of like a psychological, like I'd say thriller kind of vibe.
Oh yeah.
And like studios like Pixar and any of the animated stuff. So I think that'll be a really weird but interesting contrast, and I think it'll go a long way in proving that studios can bust out of their like shell, pun intended. But I don't know. I will withstand my vote until I see the movie and am terrified or am not.
Yeah. So anyway, that was Marcel the Shell with Shoes On.
Do we have a date for that yet?
I believe June 24th, 2022.
Interesting.
Yeah. Oh, and Jenny Slate plays the shell.
Yeah.
That's it. I like that. I think it's interesting.
We might have to like
review it.
We might see it and then decide if it's worth.
We can make it like
because I'm definitely interested in seeing it.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to see this. I was thinking for like some of the summer movies that we don't do official reviews on, we can just talk about at the beginning of the episodes.
A mini like episode and include a bunch, maybe.
Oh, we could do that.
That'd be interesting.
I was thinking instead of talking about trailers, we talk about the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's a little behind the scenes for y'all.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that more later. But otherwise, that's the trailers we got for today.
Yeah.
And now on to our
main topic.
Yes.
Morbius. The living vampire.
Yeah. Mr. John Morbius.
He's the living vampire, but I don't know if this movie has a pulse.
That's awesome. You're going to get quoted on every famous article for that quote.
Should.
That's good stuff.
I should be on the movie's box art.
I don't think you'd want that. Quotes, you would never have a career. So if you haven't been able to tell by now, I will go ahead and give my first impression. This movie's not good.
I think it's the best superhero movie since The Batman.
Yeah. I think this is the first superhero movie to release since The Batman. This movie, I'm going to say it, not very good.
No.
Believe it or not, I know a lot of you were expecting different things. We have Jared Leto, what an amazing actor in person. I mean, I'm not going to insult his person. I think that's unprofessional on my part. I take that back. But there is a lot of non-debatable things that Jared Leto has done, which paint him a little as controversial, I'd say.
Yeah.
But we got him.
Yeah.
We got.
He is a doctor with disease. They never tell you what disease it is.
Nope.
And he has
a blood disease, though. Hint, hint.
And he's trying to cure it. And then when he does cure it, oh no, he turns into a vampire.
Oh my goodness.
And then they force a villain on you.
Yep.
Through no reason at all.
Correct.
And then the movie ends.
Correct.
And that's what the movie's about. Just a guy who turns himself into a vampire, and he's like, should I drink real blood or no?
Also, like, this is kind of a prominent movie, so I'd say we give ourselves, like, not too much time of spoiling at the end, but also nobody's gonna see this.
I don't think a lot of people are gonna see it. Well, I will say, one of my facts, it has a budget of $75 million.
That's low, surprisingly.
Yeah, that's pretty low. And opening weekend, it made $39 million.
Yeah.
Right now, it's grossed $86 million worldwide. So,
I'm not convinced. I think Jared Leto just saw the movie over and over again with his own money.
He just bought out all the theaters.
That'd be funny. No, I think that was a morbid curiosity on the part of the viewer, where it's like, because God knows I would not have seen this movie if it wasn't prominent and I wasn't on a movie reviewing podcast.
Yeah.
Well, I probably
would have still.
I probably
seen
would
it.
have because it's a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that later.
Ooh.
Yeah, join us for spoilers near the end if you want to truly get into the guts of Anthony and I's conversation about this film.
Yeah. Also starring this movie is Matt Smith.
Yeah.
As his name is Lucian.
Lucian?
Yes. In the movie they call him Milo.
Yeah, that's like a bit at the beginning. Right?
Yeah. So at the beginning it's this flashback of Morbius and Lucian, because put some respect on his name.
Yeah.
He got bullied into being called Milo.
Mm-hmm.
And Lucian comes in, and he also has the exact same disease.
Yes.
Like, exact same.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently it's rare. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's a whole home for people who have that disease.
Right.
I don't get it. And Morbius looks at him, and he's like, "Hey, Milo." And Lucian's like, "That's not my name." And he was like, "Yeah, well, you're replacing other Milo." And he's like, "Was that his name?" "No. But he replaced the other Milo." And they just keep saying, and then the other Milo.
Mm-hmm.
And so then he just accepts it. He's like, "Okay, my name's Milo now."
Mm-hmm.
He gets bullied into being called Milo.
Yeah.
And no, his name's Lucian. It's a weird, like...
As you watch this movie, you will find that every dialogue, every writing choice is absolutely terrible.
Yes. Oh yeah, immediately after they have that whole Milo thing, Morbius leaves. He saves Milo's life, kind of.
My goodness.
Yeah. And then he leaves immediately. And then Morbius writes Milo a letter saying, "You're my bestest friend in the whole wide world.
Right.
I'm gonna fix this for us." And I'm like, you knew each other for like 10 minutes.
Right. We could sit here. Every single minute of this movie is like
it all.
terrible. And if we want a long enough podcast, that's what we'll have to do. Because it is terrible at every single turn. There's a specific quote that I want to bring up.
Okay.
And I won't explain the context, so you'll have to figure that out for yourselves. But it's, this is lethal to bats. To humans, deadly.
Yeah, like it's the same thing.
That's the same word. What do you actually mean? I want to know who wrote this, and I want them on our show so they can talk to us about what Jared Leto made them do. Because Jared Leto had to read through that, and he didn't have a problem with it.
Yeah, he was fine with it.
As with most of the lines in this movie.
It's the people who wrote another vampire movie, Dracula Untold.
Really?
Yeah. The Vin Diesel movie, The Last Witch Hunter.
That's funny.
A movie called Gods of Egypt, and the Power Rangers reboot.
Awesome. Yeah, so I don't even...
Yeah.
I don't know...
The writing in this movie is just god-awful. Let's just say that.
It's
horrible.
I saw a TikTok, I do not know the creator, where they said, "Morbius, how bad can it be?" And then they got home and they took Suicide Squad off their shelf. And
I
said,
saw that. Yeah,
"You can rest now. There's something worse." I'd still say Suicide Squad's worse personally.
Yeah.
I barely sat through that movie.
I haven't
one
seen
time
it
I
since
watched
it came out, but I didn't mind it. Anyway,
I did.
Just this movie also, everything about it is bad. Even the editing.
Yeah.
It feels like a lot of scenes cobbled together because that's what it is.
Well, yeah, we'll get into that later.
Yeah, the pacing is so all over the place.
Yep.
They go through the beginning of it so slowly of
I agree.
him having this disease, and then he gets his powers, and it's a montage.
Yeah.
And they do the thing that no one tells you to do. Instead of show don't tell, they tell.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's a great point. I completely forgot about all that.
It's a whole montage of him being like, "Oh, I have strength. I am fast. I can do this and that. I have echolocation."
He calls it a bat radar.
Yeah, he calls it a bat radar.
He has a doctorate, bro, and he calls it a bat radar.
He basically says that for the audience who doesn't know. He's like, for anyone at home who doesn't know, this is like Bat Radar.
It just makes me think that the writers were so like out of this world that they thought none of the viewers knew what a like anything about a bat.
Yeah, and echolocation is because they're blind, and so they screech so they can hear stuff. With this, it's just supersonic hearing. Because they do like at one point, no spoilers, but they do the whole like Superman thing where Lex Luthor captures Lois Lane and he's like, call for Superman. And this, the villain captures the love interest and he's like, call for Morbius.
Yeah.
And that's not how echolocation works. Yep. I saw that episode of Magic School Bus where they tell you it.
Yeah. I mean, I'd rather watch Magic School Bus than this, believe it or not. To note on that though, one of the interactions also pretty early on in the movie, a character close to Morbius goes into his lab, and she asks, "What are you doing?" And he says, "What am I doing?" And she says, "You're manipulating DNA." And she just goes on for like a paragraph to explain the context of what he's doing in the lab. It's like, that's not how you do it.
They rushed through so much of this movie.
This was worse than like any type of student film that anybody could produce.
And it sucks because like some of the things had potential.
Yeah.
Like I criticized the friendship between Lucy and I guess I'll call him Milo for the rest of the time because even he calls himself Milo. He's like, "You gave me my name. I love you, Morbius."
I can't.
But so Morbius and Milo at the beginning, they're actual good friends and they're discussing like life and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I kind of like this. And then they throw it away immediately.
Yep. He is like
yeah, like it was still bad dialogue, but I was like, I kind of like they have like kind of good chemistry. And then they just throw it away.
They really do just rake every character through the mud.
Yeah.
The plot device of this movie is Dr. Michael Morbius. He created artificial blood. He did. That's really all you get. Wonderful, world-saving, blah, 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 blah. He's great. He's Dr. Michael Morbius. And then he becomes Vampire Michael Morbius. Or as the Venom says, I'm Venom. Oh, wait. We'll get to that later. And his whole thing is he can drink the artificial blood. Can I say this? Is this spoilers?
No, I don't think so.
If you
I don't
care,
even know what's a spoiler in this movie anymore.
Me neither. It's all in the trailers, basically. Kind
of. Everything except the post-credit scene, which we will get into.
Yes, we will. I'm not ready for that. And he drinks the artificial blood instead of the human blood because he doesn't want to. Oh my goodness, I'm about to get into something. But he can only have so much of the artificial blood because every time he has a certain amount of time he can go without needing blood, and the artificial blood takes that down because he's growing resistant to it, I guess. And so that's their artificial time limit for this movie. And so he's like, I can't drink the red blood. I can't do it. I'm a doctor or something.
Yeah, and he never even mentions like the Hippocratic Oath or anything.
He doesn't mention anything.
Yeah, that dilemma could be interesting. Of like you're a doctor and yet you have to drink human blood in order to survive, right. And they're just like, oh no, what am I gonna do?
They literally treat it. Like, it's so hypocritical the entire time. Speaking of Hippocratic.
Okay.
He doesn't want to drink human blood because they're trying to associate that with, like, actual vampire. Like, bite the neck, kill a human, drink their blood. He has, like, a very big supply of actual human blood already. He's also rich, so he can just have people donate blood and buy that blood. And the artificial blood already exists. There's not a blood shortage because of him. So he can get blood donors and pay them with his infinite grant money because he's one of the smartest people in the world, like, just to do that.
Yeah.
Why doesn't he just, like, accept the red blood and then get it donated? That's my big
And, I guess this is kind of a spoiler, but I don't consider it because... You know he's not going to die in this movie. Well, yeah. So, of course, he's going to drink red blood. Mm-hmm. I thought they were going to take the Venom route and be like, okay, only bad people.
Right.
But at the end, he's like, no, I'm just vibing now. Like, I'll just drink whoever now.
Right.
Like, he's like struggled so much throughout the movie. Like, I don't want to drink human blood. And then at the end, like nothing changes about that. But he's just suddenly okay with it.
Yeah.
I did not understand that. Like, why is he okay with it now? Why are you still alive? Because he was accepting death.
Mm-hmm. The like entire pacing of this movie, from like, there's no consistency to any of it. It jumps around. It doesn't make sense. The characters are not elaborated on. They exist because, like, it genuinely feels like they wrote this with like, they got some like write your own script like template on Google Docs, and then they just like Mad Libbed replace the names, because every character just exists as like a what type of like template, where their personality doesn't matter, but this person's the villain who needs to betray the hero. This person's the love interest who will like need to push the hero over the edge.
It's like one of those. We kind of talked about this earlier, before the podcast. Those like bad 2000s comic book movies.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason for that is because this was supposed to come out 2 years ago, in like June-ish 2020, and that is before Venom 2 and before No Way Home. No Way Home wasn't even supposed to be in production yet.
Right.
And then now, because it is after those two movies and a lot of the other like Marvel movies about like the multiverse, they had a plan, but they had to change everything.
Yes.
So much so that the movie is just now this mess. I mean, I'm sure it was going to be a mess before that anyway. But we talked about, I think 2 weeks ago, how there are reports coming out that everything in the trailer is not in the movie.
Right.
And that's true.
Yeah. This movie suffers immensely from like the effect of putting on a blindfold and throwing darts on like a dartboard, and then wherever it lands, cutting out that scene from the movie.
Yeah.
Because it just feels like this movie's missing so much.
It is.
The original trailer, like the first main one, it came out before No Way Home, and so it had people going crazy. We had the Oscorp Tower from Amazing Spider-Man.
Well, that wasn't even in the first trailer.
Was that
was
like
in
after?
A recent trailer.
Really?
Yeah.
That's surprising. Because we had that.
Yeah.
We have a Raimi suit loading screen from the PS4 game as graffiti on the wall with murderer.
Yeah.
We have Michael Keaton as the end of the trailer like bit where he's like, "What's up, Doc?" We
have the Daily Beagle from the Venomverse.
Exactly. It's so many elements, and so people were like, "Okay, No Way Home's gonna just shuffle everything. Yeah. All the universes are gonna get mixed up. We'll get Andrew Garfield can come back and do stuff. Tobey Maguire can do his own stuff now."
Yeah.
And so much theorizing went on, and then we got No Way Home, and we know what happened there. We know the rules. Everybody who knew Peter Parker and wasn't in their universe was put back. And so that's why we weren't allowed to keep Venom. In No Way Home, and that's why his story was completely shoved under the rug and then thrown back in the back of a truck and driven back to the Sonyverse. It's sad, but that's what happened.
Yeah, and I forget what I was gonna say. You can keep going.
And they failed so desperately.
Yeah.
To in their attempt to get a big chunk of the MCU, because you could tell that's what this was. This was Sony's attempt to gain not even the respect, but the the characters and the notoriety to exist on the same level as the MCU.
They want to join the MCU
desperately, but also Sony's business department clearly doesn't want that, because they just want their Spider-Man. They just want their money, and that's why it's already been so difficult to get. We've had 3 different Spider-Mans, and while that is great for No Way Home, it's exhausting to see so many different titles just get run over. The Sony part of Marvel is the DC of the Marvel and Sony conversation, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know, it's so exhausting, and it's only 30 minutes about into our episode. but I'm very willing to start spoilers here because I'm fired
I
up
think
and
we
ready.
can too. There are two big aspects we haven't even touched on, kind of, and that's the villain and the cops.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
well, the villain I don't want to talk about because I think I'd say that's
I
spoiler
think-
territory.
not
I don't
saying
remember
who the-
that character from.
He was kind of in the trailer, but I just mean like his motivations just did not make sense because he was also one of the like early 2000s, even early MCU tropes.
Right.
Of the villain has to fight an exact replica of himself,
Exactly.
just like a little stronger.
Mm-hmm.
And his whole thing wasn't like, oh, I want to take over the world, I want to be this bad guy. It's, you don't get it.
Yeah.
Like, being a vampire is cool.
Exactly.
And I'm gonna punch
It's just a
you
Twilight
until
fan.
you understand it.
It's just Team Edward, but like manifested it into a person. It's really. I agree. That part was just as obnoxious as the rest of the film. And since seeing it, also, while we're about to get into scores and I imagine Rotten Tomatoes before we start spoilers, I'm excited to guess that because I know I'm not going to get it because it's going to be lower than I think it is. Actually, I can see Morbius being like freaky, and the critics being like, "Oh, this movie was, it was amazing. I loved the visual effects and the writing was phenomenal." It better not be like that.
Tyrese Gibson, I already told you this, on Instagram, because he is in the movie. He plays one of the bumbling cops.
Okay.
And he's not even supposed to be a bumbling cop, but he is in this movie because the character is so bad. He reposted a fake tweet from a parody account from Martin Scorsese saying Morbius is cinema.
Oh my goodness.
This is the greatest like comic book movie I've ever seen. I take back everything I said. And it was like a fake Photoshop. It was obviously Photoshop from Martin Scorsese.
That's so funny. That's so sad.
Yeah, standing on like a red carpet for like a premiere like Morbius thing. And Tyrese Gibson retweeted it or reposted it on his Instagram saying yes, and he added the director of Morbius, Daniel Espinosa, saying the King of Kings loves our movie. We've made it. And then he became aware that it's fake and immediately took it down.
That's so actually sad.
Oh,
I forgot about the cops. Genuinely, until you just brought it up.
They have no reason to be here.
They're
just like an added threat that's so forced.
The comedic relief cop is so not like they missed the mark on him so badly.
Yeah,
he's dangerously not funny.
Al Madrigal, and I'm sure like the actors they are good.
That's not on them at all.
Yeah, it's on the writing.
Again, the characters are just so like this is another example of what I said earlier where it's just a template. You have the cop who's serious and the cop who keeps making jokes and annoying the serious one. And they just fail so badly at it cuz who cares? I don't know who these cops are.
They're just bumbling through the whole thing.
Exactly. They're just there to be the cops, like the force that the main character's running from. And there's no depth to this movie at all.
There's like a random like cop chase scene out of nowhere.
Yeah.
At what's the scene? Just to have an action scene. Oh, I completely forgot about the like father figure mentor kind of guy who's just in it for 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, like that was weird as well.
I thought he was gonna be a villain too, but he's like, no, I love you, Michael.
Right. Do you wanna start spoilers?
Yeah. How would you rate this?
Oh right. I would rate this movie. I don't even know. Whenever I first saw it, it was 2 out of 5 stars. That's so generous now. I'm gonna give this. I'm trying to gauge it on how much would I want to watch the movie again.
Yeah.
I would never watch this movie again. And then my bottom level on Letterboxd is for my half stars include like Suicide Squad and Home Sweet Home Alone. And I'm deciding if Morbius is better or worse than those.
Would you watch this or Home Sweet Home Alone again?
I'd rather watch Home Sweet Home Alone because it's funny.
Honestly, same. Yeah,
funny to be bad.
I thought this would be like a so bad it's good kind
Right.
of movie, like a thing you could laugh at. And like as if like you've listened to all of our other episodes, we really like talking about bad movies. We have a really good time. But this one just sucks. Like it's not even good to laugh at.
It's really just like, it's not good bad. It's just bad. And that's Morbius. And it's really disappointing, but it met my expectations, that's for sure. But to get back to the question, I would give it a half star.
Yeah.
I have no desire to watch this movie, and talking about it makes me nauseous.
Yeah, I'd probably give it a 1 or 2 out of 10.
Yeah. Weak.
Maybe 1.5.
Weak
One.
with bold, and it's italicized.
Yeah. At least it's short.
That.
Oh, also, it just ends.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I remember, like, we saw this together, and it ended, and I looked at you.
Yeah.
And you looked at me, and we were like,
is that it?
And then, direct by.
Exactly. Do you want to start spoilers? Because we have a lot we can dig into if you want to. Oh, Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes. You're right. Jesus. Audience, like 28.
For audience?
Yeah.
Okay.
Critics, the critics are weird. Unless they want to sponsor us or come on our show, then they're awesome.
All the critics.
But most of the critics are weird. So I'm gonna say 44.
44?
Yeah.
Okay. So, for critics,
Yes.
you said 44%.
Yeah.
And with 205 reviews, this has a 16%.
Awesome. I'm okay. That's a good feeling.
The consensus is cursed with uninspired effects, rote performances, and a borderline nonsensical story. This dreary mess is a vain attempt to make Morbius happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's solid.
For the
Audience,
you said 28.
I'm gonna say 20 now.
20?
Yep.
Okay. With over 2,500 verified ratings, this is a 70%.
Really?
70%
Show
of
me.
the audience likes it.
Show me. That can't be real. That's got to be botted or something.
It might be.
It's probably not. That's concerning. That makes me feel a lot better about anything I'll do in the future. Because if people like Morbius, then I can make anything.
The score on IMDb, and like anyone can post, not even verified people, that's 5.2.
Like out of 10 stars?
Out of 10, yeah.
Still.
Well, actually, no. Yeah, Rotten Tomatoes has verified ratings.
Right.
So you can't have bots.
What?
So it's 70%.
That's not real. What is there? Can you scroll down and see reviews of people? Let's call out some people, but don't actually say their names.
Okay, that's no. That was a little racist.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Good call not saying that one. Very professional.
4-star, great movie, better than I expected. 4-star, enjoyed it, definitely different.
Let me
but
pull up
good.
more Letterboxd. Because those people are just funny.
5 stars. So in my honest opinion, yes, the movie was a bit fast-paced, but nonetheless, the movie was amazing. Jared Leto always amazes me with his acting skills. The visuals look out of this world. The visuals were y'all just dislike something because critics are old-timers. Enjoy the movie instead of always criticizing it. 8 out of 10 for me.
Enjoy. Okay. Letterboxd is a 1.9. One of the reviews is one second.
What this review just says, funny vampire go boo.
Oh my god, 1 second. I'm proofreading this review before I read it.
5-star review. This is the movie ever.
Oh my goodness.
Ended too soon. Was waiting for more. But yeah, so the audience really likes this movie.
Wow. Heartfelt.
I'm gonna look
funny,
up the cinema
beautiful,
score.
sad. Morbius has it all. Ever since I was a young child, I dreamed of the Marvel legend Michael Morbius. To make his debut on the big screen, I'd run into the kitchen screaming, "Father, Father, have they announced a film about Dr. Michael Morbius yet?" My father would chuckle, put down his newspaper, and say, "No, son, not yet." As my life went on, I became afraid I would not live to see the day of Dr. Michael Morbius' theatrical debut, but then that fateful day Venom 2018 released, I knew it was possible. 4 years later, I run into the kitchen. Father, I'm about to see Dr. Michael Morbius' big screen debut. But there was no chuckle, not rustling of his newspaper. My father had died right before I entered. I had an extra ticket for him. I went to the movies anyway, and I loved it, but I stayed for the big post-credit scene as any Morbius fan would. And there it was, my own father who had died and put his soul into the projector. I almost spoiled it. Do you want to do spoilers now?
Yeah, we're going to do spoilers.
Okay.
It's a C+ on Cinema Score, which is not good. So
Okay.
I don't understand.
I don't understand either. We're gonna start spoilers, everyone. If you care about this movie, but we're going to do that. So watch this. Don't pay money if you don't have to.
Please don't.
I'm not saying pirate it, but I'm saying get like a
subscription to somewhere.
Yeah. Anyways, spoilers starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh my god.
The vulture.
I just start convulsing. I don't know what else to talk about.
Yeah, so
I want to start with let's start from the end and work our way forward.
Yeah. So one week before Morbius came out, about 2 weeks ago now, the director did an interview just spoiling the entire post-credits scene.
Yeah, the entire thing.
He literally detailed exactly what happened step by step. So even though I did not see all of the post-credit scene, I saw a little bit beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
I knew everything coming up except for one line, and that is when Michael Keaton comes in and he says, "Well, I hope the food's better in this joint."
Yeah,
that's his first reaction when he crosses a universe.
Yeah, and their explanation is that the Vulture, or what's his actual name? It's something.
Adrian Toomes.
Thank you. That was good.
Yeah.
I'm
not the researcher for nothing.
He shows up in this prison cell that had nobody in it otherwise, and everybody's like, "Look, he's crazy. He just appeared in this world." And you see the big No Way Home purple crack in the sky because
which that's not how the spell works.
Let's settle the rules right now. Doctor Strange's spell removed everybody who knew Peter Parker.
Yes. All it did was brought people in who know who Peter Parker is.
Yes.
And then it took them back out and sent them right back to their universe.
Exactly. We talking as in the MCU did not get to keep Venom because of this rule. Everybody was like, Venom's going to show up and that's going to be the Sinister Six, and that's how No Way Home's going to be. We had 5 villains in No Way Home. Venom was missing. Post-credit scene, he's gone. He's talking about Thanos and blah, 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 blah. And he's like, and he goes back to his universe. But no. It's amazing to me how little communication, how there was absolutely no emails between the director of Sony Marvel stuff and Kevin Feige.
Oh, let me tell you this.
Uh-huh.
Daniel Espinosa was asked, did you talk to Marvel before you did that post-credit scene? And he said, no. This was all Sony's idea. We did not talk to them about this at all. We did not get permission.
That's terrible.
And, yeah, so Marvel did not even know about it.
Mm-hmm. I hope that this leads to Kevin Feige personally strangling everybody who worked on Morbius.
We're not advocating for violence.
No, we're not. That was a joke. But Kevin Feige would definitely have them arrested if he had the permission to. Listen, I understand that the MCU is, a lot of people are done with it and it's overrated. Yada, yada, yada. I still really enjoy it, and I especially enjoy the world building that we have gotten up to this point. I really liked No Way Home, and it was it was a great nostalgia trip. Blah 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 blah. But for this movie to come and rake up that entire mess that was otherwise decently explained is just so sad.
Yeah.
I wish that they would have taken it more seriously, if serious at all. It was just kind of it was a giant slap in the face, like a good old Oscar slap in the face to the story of No Way Home as well, because it's just piggybacking off of that element.
And that's one thing, but then it wasn't even executed well.
Not at all.
It was so bad.
And
Like if Morbius can fly, why is he driving a car?
Yep. You can tell like that they spent 20% of their budget on Michael Keaton being in it.
And that last post-credit scene,
Yes.
that was so clearly a reshoot.
Yes.
Just because you could not see his face.
Mm-hmm. They have
Michael
the vulture
Keaton's face.
suit somehow.
Yeah, for some reason.
Nothing makes sense. It feels like you know what this feels like? It feels like a fan fiction is what it feels like. And it's a bad one at that.
Yeah.
He has a suit. He doesn't show his face in the final post-credit scene because they can't get the rights to his face anymore. They use that time up. And then he flies up to Michael Morbius in the middle of this empty road.
He's like, "Hey, don't fight me."
He was like,
"Please."
"Hey, how
I think
about
Spider-Man did this.
Yeah, this is Spider-Man's fault.
Okay, and
what
apparently Spider-Man is in this universe too.
Sure.
That's what the director said.
Well,
Apparently
he
Andrew is the Spider-Man in this universe.
is that what the director said? Or is that
I
just
think
like a
he
rumor?
hinted at it.
Okay, he said, "Well, we don't have a werewolf in our. Oh, this is a vampire movie." Oh. Anyways, it's appalling that they were able to get away with that with how many layers I'm sure that Marvel has to go through alone. I'm surprised Sony was able to get away with just creating this mess.
The MCU like intricately plans out so many things ahead of time, and then Sony's just like, "Hey, wouldn't
what
this
if
be
we
cool?"
did this like Star Wars?" It's really it was sad. And so Venom, who knows where he is? Also, that line I mentioned earlier about the like he jokes like I am Venom. That's not in it.
It is.
Is it Venom? Does he say Venom?
Yeah, he's like I am Venom, and then he
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, but then he just ends it there, and he's like, "Oh, just kidding." It's
Yeah, well,
when he
didn't do the just kidding. I don't think.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like,
okay,
he didn't do it, but he did the I am Venom.
Exactly.
To
so
the counterfeit people who I thought he was gonna kill.
Me too.
Counterfeiting money.
They don't even like. It's just not funny.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot another fun fact. So you know how a lot of movies, they try to push for a lot of practical effects as much as they can, so it looks real and good. In this, they were going to do practical makeup for Morbius, and Jared Leto said no, CGI, because CGI is the future.
I probably just didn't want to like.
No, he always does the makeup. So like, I
guess he was Joker. He got actually
House of
damaged.
Gucci.
Oh, I forgot about House of Gucci.
Apparently, he also acted disabled on and off set to be like method acting.
That's Jared Leto.
Yeah, apparently the director even confirmed this. There are reports that when he went to the bathroom, he did it like with the stilts walking, and it took 40 minutes and delayed shooting for so long they had to make an agreement that he uses a wheelchair and someone pushes him.
I don't even.
Yeah.
This director should not be as proud of this movie as he seems like he is.
I saw a headline. I didn't read the article, but it said he knows about the bad reviews, and it just says a quote saying, "I have a lot of self-hatred too," or something.
Oh my gosh.
And so I don't.
Well, I just said he shouldn't be proud.
I don't know if he is, honestly.
Well, anymore I don't.
Yeah. Also, Matt Smith is in this movie.
Unfortunately,
he plays a villain.
Not unfortunately for Matt Smith,
Yeah.
or like unfortunately he got casted.
Yes.
I feel bad for him, is what I'm saying. He plays the other vampire.
Apparently, he was going to be another villain, but then they changed his role to be based on Morbius. Like,
that's so pathetic. Also, I just want.
Let's not be creative.
Why can't Morbius be the anti-hero bad guy that like?
That's what he's supposed to be.
Well, he feels too good in this.
Yeah.
And let's talk about when he gets the red blood from his love interest, and then that movie ends with her
becoming a vampire. Yeah, when he just like towered over her, I was like, okay, he's going to turn her into a vampire too somehow. And
also, she's not interesting.
No.
She's like nobody in this movie. I don't care about anybody.
It's nothing on the actors. Like,
no, not at all.
It's how they're written. It's just such bad writing. No one is interesting in this movie. And like Matt Smith, he's in an entirely different movie. Like, he is aware that this is a bad movie.
Yeah,
and he just goes.
He's just having fun with it.
Yeah,
I can't blame him.
I love how he's just like, I'm gonna be bad because you just don't get it. This is a gift. Like, I saw someone saying like, or one of the pieces of trivia was like, this same quote is in that like No Way Home for like, the Green Goblin says this is not a curse, it's a gift.
Yeah.
But the execution was so different because he was trying to teach like Peter a lesson, and he also did not want to go back and die, so he had motivation.
Right.
And he just loves chaos, and that's what he wanted to do. But in this one, he's just like, it's a gift, friend, but I'm gonna still try to kill you.
Yeah.
Because you're my friend, and I need to teach you that this is good somehow. Like,
I don't know. And like I said earlier, I'm still upset that nobody thought about just setting up a blood drive for just Michael Morbius.
yeah.
I don't... Because literally all he has to do is commit a little crime. Like, all he has to do is set up a blood drive and then steal a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't... This movie was so incredibly weak, and I feel bad for the $39 million worth of people that went and watched it. I paid 53 cents for mine, and that was still
me too.
way too much. If you can, wait until this movie goes on actual television and wait for it, and then DVR it and watch it there.
Even don't even watch it then.
You really don't have to. If you're a Marvel fan, I'd actually recommend not watching it, because even with the other Sony titles, I'd say like do it just so you know, because even Venom is relevant enough to get a post-credit scene in No Way Home. But I swear, if Jared Leto works his way into the MCU somehow, I'm gonna cry. I feel bad for. Oh my goodness, the like community and fandom that surrounds the MCU actors, and then Jared Leto joining that.
oh no,
that'd be terrible.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Imagine. I can't.
I don't want to.
Yeah. Do you got any other fun facts? I guess
honestly,
facts about this movie.
I tried looking and I couldn't find any like interesting.
That's okay. There's not a lot of stuff. Interesting does not describe this movie very well.
Yeah, the final battle was dumb too. Yeah.
What?
The final battle it was dumb. Yeah, it was all dumb.
The way you said that was funny.
It was like it was also weird. Like, how is he able to fly? Can he just sense the wind or something?
He's like air.
Yeah, he just turns into air.
He has the like infamous second sun effect where he just goes.
Yeah, like does he control the wind now? Because that's what
Anthony,
they were trying to say.
You've already gone too far. If you want to enjoy this movie, turn your brain off and look at the funny screen.
The bats are his friends too at the end.
Honestly, I think this is. I'm confused. I thought I was watching Batman.
Yeah.
But apparently this is just a man that has the bat powers.
Also, if the bats are his friend, why wouldn't they be Milo's friend?
That's a good point. I agree. That's a really good point. I thought about that because he's like six them on him at the very end. But he's like, a bat too.
Yeah, he's like, the bats are my brothers. Then they're Milo's brothers too.
They put no thought into writing this movie. It feels like they use like Cleverbot or some type of AI to write it, and it shows. It's really, really bad. But that'd be kind of funny if they did a. Well, I guess they did, and it wasn't funny, so never mind. Yeah. Don't watch this movie. Just don't. I wouldn't recommend it at all. It is a waste of your money. And if they make more than their budget, I'm going to be sad.
They already have.
Worldwide?
Yeah. Worldwide, 86 million.
That sucks.
But like with marketing, it's probably like 20-ish million. So
I don't know. I hope they're not encouraged to make a second one, because it'll just be like
I don't know, because like I feel like they are gonna make their money back and even turn a profit. Mm-hmm. But with the scathing critic reviews, I don't know if they're gonna make one.
I don't know,
because like Venom was kind of scathed by critics, but not to this level.
I agree.
And they made a sequel.
Yeah.
So who knows? I hope they don't.
I hope they don't too.
And Sony's making a Kraven the Hunter movie too.
Oh yeah.
And you know what? I am kind of looking forward to that. It has Aaron Taylor Johnson as Kraven and like some like really other big stars.
Interesting.
But it's the writers of Morbius writing it, so it's immediately.
So it's like 100 like monkeys with a typewriter. Wow.
Yeah.
That's
comes out
unfortunate.
next January.
Isn't Aaron? Am I thinking of somebody else who plays Quicksilver?
Oh no, he's Quicksilver. Yeah.
Well, that'll be fun. Hopefully, we're done crossing over universes.
Oh, I hope so.
Because then that'll get even.
And he's gonna
Things
be
just got out of hand.
he's probably gonna be the other part of, the Sinister Six that they set up.
Yeah. It's so stupid.
Oh wait.
Oh wait.
Okay. So it's actually a different writer. My bad.
Thank God.
Oh wait.
Oh wait.
Oh.
Stop.
So-
Don't play with my emotions like
So
this.
he wrote Iron Man, which is good.
That is good.
But he also wrote one of the Transformers movies, which is not good.
Which one?
The Last Night.
That's the fourth one, right?
That's the most recent one.
Really?
Yeah.
Like even past Bumblebee and all that?
No, it was before Bumblebee, but like the most recent Transformers.
Is that the one with the dinosaurs?
No, it's the one after that. There's a lot of Transformers.
There is.
He also wrote Uncharted.
Like the new Uncharted?
Yeah. Which
Yeah. That's an adequate response.
and the newest Men in Black movie.
Is that the one with Tessa Thompson and
Yeah.
Chris Hemsworth? I've not seen that.
I didn't mind it, but it wasn't that good.
Gotcha. Interesting.
So yeah, that could be a mixed bag, but who knows?
Yeah, we have a couple years to be happy before that movie comes out in
A couple
ruins.
months.
What?
January.
Craven?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not like
January 13th, 2023.
Okay. Why? Okay. Oh well.
Next week.
Next week. What are we doing? That's a fun one, right?
It's gonna be a fun
We're
one.
good throughout the rest of the year, I
Yeah.
think. Now, especially past this point.
Next, Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
I'm very excited. I'm seeing that tomorrow as of
I think I'm
this
seeing it
recording.
tomorrow too. What time
Oh.
are you seeing it?
mhm,
So
mhm.
yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
I thought about seeing it today because there's a showing like right after.
Isn't it Deerfield?
It's in Deerfield,
Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah,
but it's in their big theater. You know.
that theater is really nice. I saw
It is?
a movie there once.
Ooh.
It was very, very nice. But yeah, Sonic 2 will be very, very, very fun.
Yes.
I hope.
mean, I am also going to see Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh, yeah.
So you might get another review of that.
True.
Yeah.
But yeah, join us next week, Wednesday at 4.
Yes.
You can find us our announcements at
That's a Wrap NCR.
nice. Otherwise, I think that's all I got. I mean,
Yeah.
I just kind of show up.
You got about a week and a half until Fantastic Beasts. How's that progress going?
Oh, I've seen none of the movies.
No.
I have time.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
If you watch a movie every night, you'll make it.
Or I watch 15 for how many? Wait, how many days till it?
It's about a week and a half. Like next Thursday is when
Okay,
it
well,
opens.
if I watch all of the movies in one day, I'll be fine.
in one day,
Yeah. It's a Harry Potter-thon.
that's a lot of time.
Yeah, that's nothing. You know, I love those movies.
It's like a full
They're my
day.
favorite. I love
think it's a
all of
full
them.
day.
Okay. I'll be fine. I watched Morbius. I can watch anything. Okay. Well, I don't want to. He's looking something up.
Okay. Okay. Every Harry Potter movie.
What's the runtime?
It's. Wait. What? Okay. Hold on. 20 hours to watch Harry Potter, plus 2 hours each for the
That's not
Fantastic
bad.
Beasts movies.
That's
That's
not bad.
24 hours. That's a full day.
That's okay. That's how many. That's fine.
You should watch the extended versions too.
I'm good. I'll worry about that when we get closer to.
We're
Fantastic
already
Beasts.
closer.
What do you mean? I'm fine. Well, I'll get there. I will see them all the movies. But yeah, that was
Just play the
Morbius.
Lego game.
Yes, that's what
yeah.
we'll be doing when I get home. All right. Well, I hope you all have a very good week, and until next time.
That's a wrap.